Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Folly House. Here we are with Jamie, and a very sort of slightly surreal. We've got a stable visit of, well, one actually, just me this morning. So I'm sorry that sort of the Foxtrot family aren't able to be here, but hopefully we're going to be able to bring you a little bit of an insight and a virtual stable visit. So it's the first time we've done anything like this. So fingers crossed it works okay. So I'll just show Jamie's over here.
Hi team. This is our COVID-style breakfast and COVID-style sort of syndicate day. Here we are, Dan and I, having a cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit. Sorry you're not here.
So obviously it's the first time we've done a sort of outdoor virtual visit, so something's bound to go wrong at some stage. So please bear with us, and we're using sort of the 4G and 3G service here in Lambourne. So fingers crossed it's all going to work well. But if you do find you get cut off, please just log back in, and we'll do our best to hopefully everything will run smoothly. So at the moment, Jamie and I are just having a nice cup of tea and some very good biscuits, and we're waiting for the horses to come out. But what we thought we'd do is just catch up with a bit of news from the yard before the horses come out. So I'm just going to try and extend this out a little bit so that we can hopefully, keeping our distance, you can see us both here. Brilliant. Well, we've got about 30 people now joining us, which is great. So we're very sorry that you guys can't be here. But Jamie, first of all, a bit of news about Carntop this morning.
So, yeah, we've just declared him for Plumpton on Sunday. Very much looking forward to seeing him run. The ground there is good to firm, good in places, which obviously does suit him. The faster the ground, the better. So that should suit him well. We've played around a little bit with him this year, and it hasn't quite worked. Riding him, different tactics, which, as we found out, hasn't necessarily worked to our advantage. But it has confirmed in our mind exactly how he does need to be ridden. And looking on a plus side, he has actually dropped a couple of pounds in the handicap as a result of that. So he goes to Plumpton. There's only 8 runners in his race. We'll drop him out, ride him with bags of confidence, get him jumping and travel into the race, and hopefully they can go a decent clip in front and fall apart, and we can stay through and run up the hill and hopefully go and win. He deserves to go and get his head in front again this time. So hopefully Sunday will be the day.
So there you are, news of Carntop being declared at Plumpton on Sunday. So everyone looking forward to that. And Jamie, just tell us a little bit about the plan for today. What's our plan?
So, well, firstly, I hope I don't fall over backwards, because during lockdown, I became a carpenter, or I thought I became a carpenter, but not a particularly good carpenter. I wouldn't be employing my skills, and I made what I thought was quite a nice bench here, but it's a little bit unsteady. So if I do disbar off backwards, don't be too alarmed. But anyway. So this morning we're going to head up onto the gallops. We've got the Foxtrot 3 going up the hills. We'll see them all having a canter, and then we're going to leave Hogan carrying on cantering. Meanwhile, we'll head off with Anything for Love and Carntop and go and do a bit of jumping. We've got Ben on Carntop, and Paige is coming in to ride Anything for Love. We're going to have the Foxtrot horses all wearing red hats. So hopefully, as you're cantering up the gallops among the string that going up there, if you see a red hat, that will be a Foxtrot horse, and hopefully we can shout out the right name as they pass.
With a bit of luck. And Jamie, I saw this week that you had a runner in Scotland, which probably isn't that abnormal, but also in France. So just tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So. You know what we're like. We're always quite keen to sort of just try new things and work out what works. And the BHA did promise that September would be full of races. Unfortunately, this week there is no racing in England. So we went up to Scotland with a raiding party and to France, and we had Coolwell finishing second at Hexham. We had Chapman's Hype winning at Kelso. And we had one of these nights finishing second at Auteuil. And we might even, whilst you're here on the Foxtrot Zoom call, see Fact of the Matter running in Vichy. I think he runs at 12 o'clock today. I think I've got my timings right. I think it's 1 o'clock French time and 12 o'clock English time. I hope it's not 12 o'clock French time and 11 o'clock English time, otherwise I will be really confused. But he runs in a €35,000 cross-country chase at Vichy over 3 mile 2. I think there's only 6 runners. So if he finishes 5th, he pays for his journey out there. So fingers crossed he has a decent chance.
So what are the logistics involved in doing that? I mean, how have you got those horses out there? I mean, who's looking after them, and how's it working sort of logistically?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit, it's been a bit of a logistical sort of nightmare really, but you know, it seemed to work. Luckily, Freddie, our assistant, spent a bit of time in France before coming to us, and he speaks fluent French, which is always handy. So he's actually gone out with his father, who runs a transport business anyway. So they've taken a big lorry out there. Top and one of these nights have both had a stable in the back, and they've gone out there. They went to Maison Lafitte on Monday, spent the night in Maison Lafitte, and then we went up to Auteuil on Wednesday. One of these nights ran there, and then they went down to Vichy, which is middle of France. They've stayed down there with a French trainer, and he's. Fact of the matter has been schooling over all of these sort of weird and wonderful cross-country fences that they have over in France, and they've gone racing today, and they'll get the ferry back tomorrow night.
Wow! So, can I ask, what does it cost roughly to send a horse out there?
I'll tell you next week when the bills come in. Listen, one of these nights picked up €9,000 for coming second, and as I said, if Fact of the Matter finishes 5th today, I think he picks up €5,000. So the prize money there will cover the cost. What's sad is that we can't be there. You know, it would have been wonderful if the owners had gone out and we'd gone out, and it would have been great fun actually. It would have, you know, a few nights in Paris and middle of France and come back with lots of red wine and cheese, but Frank Dettori manages it, but unfortunately we don't.
The rest of us, yeah. So how does that work with quarantine? Do they all have to be in the horse box?
So if you're a driver of the lorry, you don't have to quarantine. So both Freddie and his father get away with not quarantining. Right. But hence the reason why Gavin and myself and the owners can't go. Yeah. We managed to watch one of these nights on Sky Sports Racing. That was on at the races, Sky Sports Racing. But Vichy today isn't, so there's going to be a delay. So I think we're going to try and FaceTime all the owners into watching it at the same time, so that whether the signal works for that, whether we can actually watch it on a big screen or something, I don't know how it's going to work, but it'll be interesting.
Great, that sounds an adventure anyway. That sounds really good. Yeah. And obviously the yard's in really good form at the moment. Again. Yeah.
It's you know, thankfully we've had a good summer. July was one of those slightly frustrating months when we had something like 7 seconds and only a couple of winners. But thankfully, it's turned around through August and September, and they're winning. And I thought Chapman's Hype was really impressive up at Kelso. He won off a mark of 142 off top weight and broke the track record. So he's certainly progressing in the right direction, and he's sort of verging on graded class now, which is quite exciting.
Brilliant. And Jamie, just tell us a little bit about what our plan is for today in terms of sort of our visit today. So obviously the horse will be coming out soon. So
the horses will come out. Yeah, the horse. We're just waiting for Paige. She's been riding out down at Seamus Mullins is there this morning, but she's coming back up to ride Anything for Love. So we'll see the horses out, and then we'll head up onto the gallops. After schooling, we'll then come back and have a virtual tour of the yard. We'll go around all the boxes and see all their heads poking out, and see the new stabling, which Hogan's Height. He's been promoted to the ensuite accommodation, which is quite fun. We can wander on down now and go and have a look at the accommodations, really.
Yeah, let's do that. See this ensuite accommodation. Sounds nice. Yeah, sounds great. Great. Well, we're very sorry that you're not able to be with us, but hopefully everyone can hear us okay and enjoying the visit. So so when were these new stables put in?
So we got planning permission and started them only a couple of weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago, I suppose. We put them in, and we were quite nervous when we turned the horses out into the pens first time out, thinking that they were going to go and jump out or something. So we decided that they only go out after they've been exercised. As you can see, there's a couple of horses out there now. Hogan's in here. I have to say, Hogan actually did jump out.
Well, he's a particularly good jumper, isn't he?
He's a particularly good jumper. Two strides, and he was out over the gate. Here he is in his box. Here is Hogan. He's in great form with himself actually. Spends a bit of time down on the water treadmill, which he loves actually. It's very good for him. Obviously, we've had a few little issues with his knees in the past, so I think the more sort of water treadmill work he can do, the better. And he's getting on really well. Looks a picture. He started his fast work now, and hopefully we're gonna run him in a handicap hurdle. We'll do a similar kind of route to what we did last year, a handicap hurdle at the end of October, and hopefully then line him up for entry in December. But here we go. As he shows you his bum. He's more intent on standing that way, I think. But so Lydia's here. She's riding him at the moment.
Hi, Lydia. Hi.
She's got the red foxtrot hat on for distinguishing. So yeah, well, it's Paige has
literally just got here. So.
Perfect. Let's pull on out.
Yeah, that's fine.
While we're down here, we might just have a quick look at some other horses. We've got Tim Smith, who is down here. He's obviously decided not to come out of his box here. He's had one run over hurdles, and he unfortunately tipped up at the first, and a horse landed on him, and he broke his ribs last summer. So he's had a bit of time out, but he's back in and doing well. This behind us is a mare called Feral Cat. She won a point over in Ireland last season, and she's a smashing horse. She'll be a lovely novice hurdler this year and novice chaser next year. Kalahari Queen, Grade 2 placed, won a novice chase. She'll be heading for the Grand Military Gold Cup this year. She's owned by Jordan Wiley, who many of you might have seen in the news, but is paddleboarding around the UK for charity at the moment. This is Serenisa, just having a pee. She runs at Plumpton on Sunday, and so yeah, she's having her first run. She ran for Jesse Harrington, but wants faster ground, so the owner sent her over here, and she'll run at Plumpton on Monday in a bumper. And then we got one of these nights in the end. She's obviously over in France at the moment.
Great. So is that going to be her first run?
And that's her first run for us. Yeah, she ran for Jesse Harrington on soft ground and didn't quite get home in a bumper. So it'd be quite interesting to see her. There's Tim Smith come out of his house. Hope our little tour's working so far. It's quite nice having those outdoor pens. They're a little bit different anyway. I think it's quite nice for some mares to have the sun on their backs.
Yeah. Well, good to know Hogan's been given the priority on those, the luxury suites.
We put a few of the quieter horses out there to start with, just to see how it works. But as I say, Hogan did pop the gate to go and eat some grass. Okay, let's go. Right, so here the team coming out. Here's Paige on Anything for Love.
Morning. Yeah, good, thank you.
So she looks an absolute picture, as you can see here. She did really well for the summer. That's No Anxiety. Yep. Yeah, you can go a little bit steady. I'm just going to get them on.
You okay? Yeah, fine, thank you. You keeping well? You're always busy, aren't you?
Good trip up north though, so it was
Well, successful.
yeah, very. Chat was very impressive.
Yeah.
Top rate, very.
No, that was great, wasn't it?
No, they're all running well, so can't knock it.
Good. We'll hopefully keep it going.
Exactly.
Morning. Yeah, good, thanks. You well? Morning. So how many lots a day do you have, Jamie?
So everybody will always have 3 lots a day, and then there'll be a few fourth lots as well. Obviously on busy days, everybody will have a fourth lot. if we're away racing and this, that, and the other. But today there's 5 full slots. We've got 54 boxes now, and including those new ones, 54 boxes, and thankfully they're all pretty busy. There's
So you've got about 50 horses in, have you then?
we got 54 in, which is wonderful actually. It's a little bit more than last year. I think we were 50 last year, so probably 4 more than last year.
And the sales this week, I mean, the price of the sales seem to be picking up again now. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's a strange sort of. Obviously, we're all living in a pretty strange world and strange climate, but it seems to me that there's still very much an appetite to be buying horses, and every horse that I've certainly bought this summer, we've sold fairly quickly. We bought one at the sales this week. We bought one of Trevor Hemmings's horses for a new owner. It's really exciting.
Great.
Yeah, so that's taking his rightful spot. Excellent. Mustang Alpha. Legends ride. No anxiety. The Panicking Rebel. Then we've got Carntop leading the next gang. Here comes Carntop. Timoshenko. Tractor Fred. Love. You on early morning rain.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Paige, on anything for love? All okay there, Paige?
Yeah, very happy.
Good. Nice. So we're going to go and watch her doing a jump in a moment. Here we've got Tractor Fred. Right, Aaron?
Yeah, very good. Very fresh.
Tractor Fred's just had a wind up, so he's just doing one counter there. This is Sound of Rock. All okay, Rob?
Yeah, all good, Jamie. Yeah, she goes a bit well. She's just got to settle in, but that's all.
She's a big, honest, solid mare. She's a 4-year-old, believe it or not. She won a point up her sleeve. A shocker. This is early morning rain. All okay, Alex?
Yeah, very good. This time, very tiny, but very good. Yeah, no, she was great. Also, she did everything got going for her, but uncatched.
She's going for a wind up on Wednesday.
She is.
Yeah. All okay, Liz?
Yeah.
Leading you on. She's a leading light filly out of a good family, actually. We train the brother. This will do nicely. And the other brother, Croco Bay. Croco Bay won at the Champ Festival a couple of years ago. Right, so those 4 are either a bit fat, or just have wind ups, or about to run. So they're gonna. There's 5. Sorry, they're gonna head home. They don't need 2 red hats now.
No.
It's easily recognisable. So there's Anything for Love. She's done really well for the summer. She put on a huge amount of weight, and she looked really wonderful. Hopefully she'll be ready she will be ready in October. But obviously we don't want to be running around fast ground. We want to wait for a little bit of rain. And here is Carntop, who looks wonderful in his skin.
It's great, isn't he?
He looks really well. And yeah, listen, we haven't got it right with him this year. That's through no fault of anyone's, really. We've just been trying to change tactics because we know a fast run gallop over 2 miles works. how it didn't work when we tried to make the running at Fontwell the last day. I thought actually ran very, very well at Southall the first day when he wasn't beaten too far, but it was a bit of a slowly run race. So let's hope the race on Sunday is a fast run race we can sit in behind. There's only 8 in the race, which again would suit us nicely. We're not coming through. It's harder to sit behind and come through a wall of 15 horses. So hopefully Sunday might work for us. Right, so we're just going to come up here. We're going to jump out of the vehicle. 1 French time. Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant. There wasn't the other thing that I a mile from home. Yeah, so just
Okay, well, hopefully we didn't lose everyone on our journey back, and hopefully you're still with us. Jamie's just on the phone to Freddie Mitchell over in France before their runner later on today. When he's finished there, he's just going to give us a quick tour of the yard. So hopefully show us around as we would have done on a normal sort of stable visit. So we're going to get a tour around the yard and have a look and find out a little bit about Jamie's hopes and plans for the season ahead.
Right, if we wander up here.
Great.
So as we can see, this is Facts of the Masses box, and it's empty because he is running in 40 minutes time at Vichy. So that was Freddie just on the phone. So we're going to set up a Zoom call to watch, because Vichy's not on the telly. So I think we can watch a replay of it, but to watch it live, we're going to have a Zoom call.
Wow.
So maybe if you're still on, we can do a Zoom on Zoom.
Crikey. That sounds, yeah.
This is technology going mad. So this is a mare called Rose O'Hara. She's a 4-year-old, hasn't run yet. She was one of the 3 horses that we had in during lockdown, part of her education. She's had a good holiday since, and she came back in yesterday. She's from a great family, and she's a really nice young horse that very much looking forward to this season.
Brilliant. And if you've got any questions for Jamie, do ask them on the Q&A, because we can fire them away at him as we go round.
So talking of ultimate getaway, this is Donnie Azov. Donnie Azov obviously finished second to ultimate getaway at Southall, first time out. He's been 3rd in 2 bumpers since. Very good races, actually. Rather bad training. I've only entered him in good races, but he is a good horse, and rather than scratching away trying to enter him and find the weakest race, we run him where we can and where the owners have managed to get to, and he's run 2 really good races to finish 3rd in as well. He's going to have a little bit of a break now. We're actually going to tinker with his wind. We're going to give him a soft pallet op on Wednesday, I think, and then send him over hurdles. But he's a really nice young horse.
Lovely big horse, isn't he?
Really lovely big horse. So this is Mustang Alpha, who we've just seen out on the gallops. He's on his way back in now. Mustang Alpha finished 3rd in 2 novice hurdles and picked up a handicap mark. I was slightly disappointed with his run last week, but maybe we can put a line through that and start again. Flora Bouquet. She's been a darling really for us over the years. She's won 2 novice hurdles. She picked up a handicap mark of 120, which was probably a little bit beyond her. She's back down to a nice mark now. She was off 110. She ran at Bangor in July. She made a mistake at the last and just finished 2nd. So she's gone back up again over hurdles, but she's 106 over fences, and I think we'll run her in a handicap chase now off that mark. But she can hopefully win again before long. Now this is Jamie's first homebred. This is a Midnight Legends gelding out of a mare that we used to train called Centauria. Centauria won a bumper for us at Foal, but actually had it taken off her. She cut up the horse in 2nd and had it taken off her, which was a shame. But anyway, this is her first offspring by Midnight Legend. He's a 4-year-old. Yeah, he hasn't got a name, but we call him Bob the Foal, or the children used to call him Bob the Foal. Bob the Foal is now a 4-year-old, race. We were going to send him pointing last year. We sent him to Francesca, Nemo, and Charlie Post, and he was ready to run in a point, but that obviously never materialised with the pandemic. So he's come to us now. He'll be ready to run in a bumper in the autumn. This is Pisgah Pike. Pisgah Pike won his novice hurdle at Hexham a couple of weeks ago. He probably rather bad training actually, because he's gone up from a mark of 112 to 123, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, I tried to find as bad a race as possible, and he fairly bolted up. But he did look very impressive, and the handicapper took a dim view of that. But the handicapper is seldom wrong, so let's hope he can go win a nice handicap off 123 now. But that's Pisgah Pike. Between the waters, he's just having a pick of his hay down there. He's been a star actually. He's no world beater, but he's won 3 chases for us. Obviously went up in the handicap as a result, but he's coming back down to a workable mark, and hopefully he can go in again soon as well. So that's Between the Waters. Now this is no star, unfortunately. They can't all be stars, but he's a lovely horse. He's called High Renown. We ran him in 3 novice hurdles, and he's got a handicap mark. So hopefully now he can ply his trade in handicaps and see where we are. But he probably needs to show a bit more than he has done so far if he's going to get his head in front. But we'll give him till Christmas, and hopefully he can.
Not sure he likes you talking about him like that.
Oh. This is a lovely big horse, a presenting mare called Diddly Doo. She's out of a sister to Sergeant Reckless, who was a good horse for Mick Shannon. She's some size. She's only a 4-year-old. She went away for a racecourse gallop last year at Lingfield, and yeah, went really nicely. She progressed really well last year. She obviously didn't run on account of COVID. She's had a long summer holiday, and she's back in, and she looks like she's in Foal. So plenty of work to do with her before she runs. But I hope she's not in Foal. So this is Carntop's box. There's Carntop. So he's got a good box with this.
It's got a great box, hasn't it? Look at this, yeah. with a window at the back, and that's a tremendous box.
Yeah. So he's stabled next door to a bit of a star, really. Chapman's Hope. Yeah, he's won twice this season. He won 4 last season, and he's got a tremendous strike rate. He's a really lovely horse. He's progressed through the ranks. He won a bumper at Punchestown, and we bought him off the back of that. And he was like a boy in a sweet shop and wanted to do everything far too fast over hurdles to start with. And we ran him twice over 2 miles. He got 4th and 2nd, got a handicap mark of 110, and he's progressed. He now won at Kelso, won a Class 2 at Kelso on Wednesday off a mark of 142. So he's progressed from winning off 110 to winning off 142, and he's sort of verging on being graded class now. So he might go for the silver trophy at Chepstow perhaps next, but I look forward to stepping him up to 3 miles as well.
So if a horse goes to sort of Kelso, they presumably stay overnight. You'd send them overnight and then have a few relaxing days after travelling that far.
Yeah, sitting on the beach and doing the usual sort of stuff. No, Kelso is a long way, so yeah, we did do that overnight. We sent one up to Hexham, obviously, who ran Coolwell ran at Hexham on the Tuesday. They spent Tuesday night at Hexham. Poor old Coolwell ended up in hospital, so he spent Tuesday night in hospital. This chap spent the night at Hexham, and then they went on to Kelso. Kelso was evening racing, so they ran at Kelso and then came back yesterday. So he's feeling a little bit tired, but he deserves to. He ran a brilliant race. Yeah. Right, if we whiz down through here. Hi, Gav. Hi, Riley. How are you? You would be brilliant. Thank you, Lydia. That's Hagen's height just coming back in. Lydia's going to go and put a racing bridle on and get him stood up for you in a moment.
Brilliant. So, hi, very nice to meet you.
Hi there. Yes, actually, we did meet someone in a paddock somewhere. Adolf, I think it was.
So we're doing a Foxtrot Zoom syndicate morning because of COVID. We can't have the syndicate actually down here. So we're doing a.
Okay. Well, we'll leave you to. We just came in to see. They're lovely.
You like the newspapers?
I think they're brilliant. Because I remember Roger Charlton saying so many horses with ulcers because they couldn't interact with anyone, they couldn't see anyone, and so they can actually talk to each other.
Great, so I hope everyone can hear okay. And what we're going to do is get our horses just to be stood up as well. So we'll get to see them once we've concluded our stable visit. So hopefully everyone can follow us all okay. And we'll get back with Jamie in a second.
Take care. See you later. Right. So here we. Sorry, continuing the tour here. Here is Battle of the Somme, who we inherited last year. Quite well handicapped. He'd come from Cape Bucket. She sent us to Tractor Fred and Battle of the Somme. And this chap had quite an attractive handicap mark. He won two, one over fences and one over hurdles, and the handicapper fairly crucified him because of that. So he shot up the ratings. He's coming back down, and he should win again this season. He's in present views, old Cox. Got our festival winner. So this is Tractor Fred. Tractor Fred, as I said, came from Cape Buckets last season. He was placed several times last year, but didn't win. I wonder why he didn't quite win. Actually, he was just touched off at Plumpton on one occasion, and he, as I said, he was placed quite a lot. So we've actually just given him a soft pallet top, and we think that should hopefully eke out a little bit more improvement. So quite looking forward to seeing him on soft ground this year, going 3 mile novice chasing. Right, so we'll just have a look at these two here. This is Thomas McDonough. He's fast asleep at the back of his fox here. He's not showing himself off, but I'm not sure I do when I'm asleep either. But Thomas McDonough, he won 3 last year, 3 over hurdles, rated 136. He ran at the Cheltenham Festival, finished mid-division in the Mustang Alpha conditional jockeys race. He'll go novice chasing this year. Loves soft ground, Black Sand Ballamy, much like Anything for Love. Really appreciates the softer ground, and yeah, he should be a nice horse to go novice chasing. We've got quite a few 4-year-olds that never hit the track last year, for obvious reasons, and certainly this is one. I'm not sure he would have run anyway. This is Charlie George, who won the FA Cup final in 1971 for Arsenal. I don't think this chap did, but his namesake did. This chap, he's by presenting. He's a gorgeous, big, scopy individual. Really nice horse, but he's very much a baby and very immature. He doesn't know much about life yet, but hopefully when he's 9 years old, he'll be winning a Gold Cup. We got a dream, but no, he's a lovely young horse.
Brilliant.
Coming through the archway to the backyard here. Right, you're okay. As ever, Kate's hiding away from the camera. So this is Timoshenko. Timoshenko was a good horse on the flat for Smart Prescott. Got a nice handicap rating. I think he started off 50 on the flat and ended up being rated 85. Won 6 on the bounce. He won first time out over hurdles for us at Utoxeter. We probably rode him wrong the next couple of times, but he's got a handicap mark of 110 now, and he goes up in trip to 3 mile 2 at Newton Abbot tomorrow. It's conditional jockey's handicap hurdle. Paige will ride him. we've got some headgear on him as well, so that should help him out. As we know, if we win a conditional jockey's handicap hurdle, we wouldn't carry a penalty over the next week. So we've got a few entries next week as well, in the hope that he goes and does the business tomorrow. This is Adrastos, who has been a legend over the years. Adrastos, yeah, he's won 7 races. He had a very profitable summer last year. He won at Hereford, and he won four races last year, culminating in a really decent win at Kempton. He was going to go for the Topham, but obviously entry never happened. And he came back this year. We ran him in the Queen Alexandra at Royal Ascot instead, where he finished 5th. And he's rated 140 now, so he's probably at his sort of ceiling of his handicap mark, really, but continues to be an awful lot of fun. Bit of a legend, the Panicking Rebel, was a very, very good bumper horse, second in the Grade 2 entry bumper. Obviously a very good novice hurdler last year. He won 3 novice hurdles. Unlucky not to win with a double penalty at Wetherby when he fell at the last one in front. Came out, won a listed race at Kempton. 3rd in a grade 2 backup. Won a listed race at Haydock. He was unlucky when he was 3rd, cut off with the run in the Grade 2 back up there. He ran him in the Betfair hurdle. His wind just gave away from the back of the line. He had his wind down. He was going to go for a grade 1 at Aintree. That never materialised. This year, I think we're going to stick over hurdles for the moment. He's going to go for the Welsh Champion hurdle in the middle of October, wow. And then we might think about perhaps the Fighting Fifth up at Newcastle or something with him. But yeah, there he is, just having a roll. Don't know whether you can peer over the top and see him having a roll there.
Well, nice big stables.
Midnight Chill. One of the best workhorses at home. Doesn't quite deliver it on the track, unfortunately, but he has won 3 novice chases, and he is a lovely horse. But he looks a world beater at home, but hasn't quite done it on the track like that. But it should continue to be a lot of fun. Here's Pacifier. Pacifier, who's obviously was an absolute legend last season. He was a good horse on the flat. And he won 5 novice hurdles last year, culminating in a listed success at Kempton. He ran well to finish 2nd in a Grade 2 at Cheltenham, it's been slightly disappointing over fences. It's probably fair to say. He finished 2nd first time out in a novice chase at Toxteth, which turned out probably quite a decent race, but slightly got trapped in a wall of horses at Newton Abbot. Didn't really like that. It's jumping slightly went astray there. So. This is Sovereign Duke, who Sovereign Duke is he's a really lovely horse actually. He's by Jukebox Jury. He's not going to come and say hello. He's too busy eating his hay. He was a decent horse on the flat. He won 1 race, but he ran the Cesarewitch last year, which, as we know, became a bit of a war of attrition on bottomless ground. He came to us, his wind just needed tweaking. Jumps hurdles well. He was unlucky at Newton Abbot on his debut over hurdles, where he looked like he was coming to win his race, and he just tipped up at the second last. We've been a bit patient with him since, got him back. He's jumping well, and he'll be ready to run again in the next couple of weeks. But he's a nice horse. This is Early Morning Rain, who we've just seen out on the gallops. She's just come back in. She's done really well for a summer holiday. She won a couple over hurdles last year. She won a bumper previously. She just struggled to pick up a bit of black type last year, which we were trying to do. She'll go novice chasing this year. Lacks a bit of size, but she's got plenty of scope. So hopefully we'll try and pick up a little bit of black type, which, as we know, for these mares is quite important for when they go breeding later on. Fortunate Fred, one of Kate and Andrew Brooks's. He was placed in a couple of bumpers last year. And on hurdling debut up at Sedfield last week, he was upsized at the last when he just tipped up. A bit of a shame because he jumped beautifully prior to that, but it hasn't affected his confidence, and he should be able to go and win his novice hurdle again fairly soon. Right, we come into the barn here. This is Anything for Love's box. We'll just Imogen, would you be able to get Anything for Love in a bridle and bring her up the top in a moment? Thank you. This is Anything for Love. So she's in the end stable in the barn here. So we'll get her in a bridle standing up in a moment. Shut the door before she escapes. College Oak, he won a bumper last year, and then he was placed in a couple of soft ground bumpers as he goes and takes my hand off. He won on hurdling seasonal debut this year at Utoxeter. We just wanted to find a little bit of nicer ground in the spring, but obviously that never happened. So we kept him in for the autumn, and he won at Utoxeter really nicely the other day. Got a mark of 115, which we think is definitely workable. So he'll go handicapping off 115. He's out of assisted to best mate, so he'll jump the fence as well. Should be nice over a trip. Redbridge Gold, she won a bumper up at Doncaster, got bogged down in soft ground last season. She only ran twice, but it just didn't really work for her. First time out this season, she just got touched off at Newton Abbot. She finished second, got beaten in the neck down at Newton Abbot last week. That was a nice run. She's got a mark of 110 now, so hopefully we'll go handicapping with her. One of the old boys of the party, Monbeg Theatre. He's 11 years old now, but he doesn't know it, and he's going novice chasing, believe it or not. He was a revelation in staying handicap hurdles a couple of years ago, won at Cheltenham and ran well in a couple of graded races, but believe it or not, he's still a novice over fences, so that's where he's going. He'll run at Newton Abbot tomorrow. Legends Ride, great big mare called Legends Ride, who is really nice. She won a bumper last year at Carlisle, finished second in a listed race at Cheltenham. She did. I thought she would probably win that day, but she just didn't quite gallop through the line. We gave her a wind up on the back of that. She finished second at Huntingdon over hurdles, and then she won at Foss Last just before lockdown. That was a bit of a shame because she was going to go to a grade 2 at Newbury, where off a mark of 123, I thought she had a great chance, but that obviously never happened. But she remains a novice until December now, and she'll go for the Persian War, the grade 2 Persian War at Chepstow in the middle of October. This is Tallow for Cole, who Kate's just saddling up. He's by Arctic Cosmos. He won a point-to-point on his first time over in Ireland last season. Got a very high rating that day. So although we picked him up for quite good value actually, but he's hopefully a nice horse to go novice hurdling this season. Tim Coda, just behind us here. He's in our racing club this year. He's threatened to win on several occasions, but hasn't quite delivered. He's either tipped up or just come up short and finished place. But his time is going to come this season. That's Tim Coda. It's just feed time now, so they're all getting a little bit excited. They like Aaron coming around at this time. This is representing Bob, who's a lovely young 4-year-old by presenting. He went away for a racecourse gallop again last year, but obviously never ran. Very much, he's probably benefited him actually by not running. He's twice the horse this year. Looking forward to seeing him out. This is Sandra Rock, who we've just seen out. She's a Scirocco filly, great big Scirocco filly. She won a point-to-point bumper at quite fast lead on real deep ground last winter, and she'll be a lovely horse to hopefully run in a bumper and go novice hurdling with this year. This is a new horse to us this season called The Longest Day, another one of the McNeil families. He's by Milan. He's a brother of Paloma Blue, who was placed in the Supreme Novices. He was going to run in a point-to-point for Monbeg, the Monbeg stables last season. Obviously, that never happened, and he's been bought on the back of that. And he'll go novice hurdling this year. Might try and win a bumper first. Another horse of the McNeils is Kilty Briggs, who obviously was a really nice horse last year. Finished eighth in the bumper and progressed really well in novice hurdles last year. Won a couple. We ran him in the Albert Bartlett. It didn't work for him that day. He actually came back and got colic that night. I think the situation the whole sort of situation, Cheltenham just got to him a little bit, and he didn't run his race. But he's done well for a nice long summer holiday, and he'll go novice chasing this year. Leading You On, who we've just seen out, a sister to a Cheltenham Festival winner, sister to Thistle Do Nicely by Leading Light. She was in training last season, never ran, but she's a nice horse, done well for a summer break, big and strong. Right, if we just come around into the main yard. So the ponies are just down in those pens there. This is the feed room. This is what I built during lockdown. And it's still standing.
Amazing. It's incredible. It's still standing, unlike the bench. Very impressive.
This is a mare called Quiet Penny, who's by Sholikov. She won on handicap debut for the Reeveleys, and she was bought out of that. She unfortunately did a leg that day or soon after, so she's had a long time off. She's just arrived with us now, and she looks a really nice horse to go handicap hurdling with this season. 3 ways. He's been a star over the years. He's won 4 races. He was on the verge of being Cheltenham Festival class, but never quite materialised. He's had a few injuries in the last couple of years, but he's back in, looking well, and should be nicely handicapped.
We like the name of the owners.
We accidentally bought another horse partnership. This is a lovely Yates horse. He's out of a sister to Ruby Light, the one with John Durkin. He's another 4-year-old, but never got to the track last season. But he's done really well. Looks a big, strong individual, and should be a really nice future staying chaser. He's by Yates as well. This is Garlaw, who absolutely bolted up on his first run in a novice chase at Fontwell on Sunday. He's by Sindar. He's only a 4-year-old, so obviously he had a huge weight for age allowance, and he jumped for fun. It was only his 3rd ever start on the racecourse, and he looked really, really useful that day. So he could be a graded performer over fences this year, hopefully. Really nice horse. All right, do you want to head off, you guys? Yeah. Chrissy, do you want to help me jump on? Yeah. Perfect. So this is 4th lot, just heading out. Champman's Fight, How Did You Do, Donnie Azov. That's Donnie Azov there. So right, this is All Right Jack, who won a bumper in a novice hurdle. It didn't quite work for him last year, although he was 4th in the Silver Trophy at Chepstow. It didn't quite work for him after that, but as we know, it was real deep ground, and he's just taken he probably doesn't want that. We've done his wind over the summer, and he'll go novice handicap chasing this year. Hopefully, he might be off a nice handicap mark. This is a horse called That's All Right Gino. That's All Right Gino. He's by It's Gino, the sire of Laylor, who's a good horse. This chap never ran last year, but he's a really nice youngster. Goes really well at home, so looking forward to seeing him out in a bumper. Exadella. He's never been out of the first 3. Won a point-to-point. He was placed in 2 bumpers for us. Page rode him on the 2nd occasion when he was 3rd at Utoxeter. Placed in 2 novice hurdles. Picked up a handicap mark. Ran him on slightly better ground at Ludlow. I say slightly better ground last winter. Slightly better ground last winter was very soft as opposed to very heavy. And he won really impressively that day. He's ready to go now, but we just have to wait for the rain to just come and have just decent ground. He doesn't want fast ground. No anxiety. A lovely presenting youngster, 4-year-old, out of a mare that we used to train called Joanne One. She won a couple of bumpers and a couple of over hurdles as well. She won a listed bumper. And he's a nice young horse for Simon and Isaac's Road and Chips. This is Coolwell, who unfortunately picked up a nasty cut at Hexham. As you can see, he's just got it wrapped up. Thankfully, it's all okay and missed everything, but it's a nasty cut that just needs a bit of TLC. He finished 2nd. At Hexham. He's finished 2nd in 7 of his last 9 starts, I think, since he won. But his time will surely come. How did he do? Presenting filly, finished 3rd in the bumper last season. She's ready to go hurdling. She'll probably go to Market Raisin next week. Hopefully, she's a nice horse and can go and win her novice before progressing. Sazarat lacks a little bit of size and scope, as you can see. She's not very big, but she's got a heart of a lion. She finished 2nd in a bumper last week at Sedgefield, and she's ready to go hurdling there. She runs at Newton Abbot tomorrow. Bucko's Boy, out of a mare that we used to train. You know you're getting old when you say you train the mum. But anyway, Buxom, she won 2 bumpers and a novice hurdle for us, and unfortunately then picked up a leg. This is the first foal by Midnight Legend. He was 4th and 2nd in 2 novice hurdles, 2 bumpers last season, sorry, and he'll be ready to hopefully win his bumper this year before going novice hurdling. Right, if we head up here, we'll see your gang. Alex, you wouldn't just mix your cant off and people are ready to come out. So this is Hogan. Perfect. He's standing up there. I'll do the push. He's just pushing back up.
Don't worry, I don't think it.
Okay.
We've not got anyone taking any pictures today.
No pictures on Zoom. So here's Hogan. He looks wonderful.
He looks great, doesn't he?
He looks really well.
Super.
You're happy with him there, Lydia?
Yeah, really happy with them.
Off to his ensuite again.
Off to his ensuite.
Well, it must be exciting for the yard to have a horse that might be a Grand National runner.
Really exciting. Really, it was such a shame last year, wasn't it? Yeah. Hey, we might be able to see just in the window. So here, I'll go and bring it out. Right, a place.
Wow, look at that. Fantastic.
You know, I said that
polishing that every night, are you, I hope?
Yeah.
We need to get it engraved, do we?
We do, don't we?
I have to do that. Or maybe they'll do it for us, who knows?
We do.
We'll look into that. Great.
It'd be nice if it's the Grand National, isn't it?
Next year, next year.
This is Carl Top.
Yeah.
So
ready for his big run on Sunday.
Ready for his big run on Sunday.
Great. Well, he looks fantastic. Do you ride him?
I have ridden him quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Jamie's got you working hard today, finding all these horses. Thank you. Hey, you've got an overtime sheet or something.
Yeah.
Great, that's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. So there goes Carn Top, and we'll next see him at Plumpton on Sunday, where he's been declared to run. So very much.
Right, here is Anything
Brilliant.
for Love.
Well, she's looking great, considering how much weight she put on over the summer.
I know. She's she put on a great deal. We'll just push it back up. Thank you. Perfect. I'm just going to write down the Zoom number and we can see if we can get it up.
Brilliant. So Anything for Love, her training's been going very well. She's been schooling well, so hopefully looking to see her on a race course towards sort of probably the end of next month, I would imagine. So lots to look forward to with her. Obviously unbeaten so far, so let's hope we can carry on once she's back on the race course.
We're struggling with technology to get into the French racing. The Zoom on Zoom's not working.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Jamie. Really appreciate your time this morning. It's been great to see the horse looking so well.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for your insight, and good luck for the season. And hopefully we'll hear from you regarding Sunday anyway.
Yeah, look forward to it. Great stuff.
Brilliant.
Thanks, everyone. Sorry you couldn't be here, but I hope that came across okay and you managed to see some of it.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.